Hello, ladies and gentlefish. Welcome back to the Rayquatics YouTube channel. Today, I'll be showing you some new fish, as well as some other important channel updates. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another video. The first thing I want to say today is, well, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I mean, look, 131 subscribers, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things, but to me, every one of your voices is heard, and every one of your opinions is valued, and I appreciate you all coming together to watch my little fish room here grow. And for the people who've been here since the very, very beginning, I know who you are, and you have an even more special place in my heart. But everybody here, even if we hit 5 million subscribers one day, every single one of you guys is going to be my friend going on this fish keeping journey with me. Now, with that being said, guys, I've got some new fish and some updates here in the fish room to show you guys today. Starting off with this top 10 gallon here on my little rack, we got the betta fish, we got the shrimp tank, and now here we've got a Carbensis breeding aquarium. Well, it's breeding because I'm pretty sure I got a male and female. They are quite young at this point too, so it's really a grow out / breeding aquarium. Let's see if I can get some, here we go, some footage of the Carbensis. There's one right there. The other one is MIA, probably in one of the caves. But I do have a male and a female. I'm 98% sure. I will try to get better footage of them in the near coming future. Look how clear this tank is. It just looks like air with the bubbles. It's kind of cool, kind of cool. But I will be adding more caves and stuff like that, trying to entice them to have babies. Because, yeah, I've never really bred too many dwarf cichlids before. My cousin has bred some opistogramma in the past, but that was even in a community tank. I've never really done a dedicated tank for just a pair of dwarf cichlids like this, and I think the Carbensis are a pretty good one to start with before I start moving on to things like opistos and rams or whatnot. I mean, just because, you know, these guys were pretty cheap to buy as babies, and they're quite good parents as well. So we will see what happens with them. But just kind of wanted to give you guys the shout out that I got this new tank going. You know, we've still got a whole mess of shrimp in here. Look at all these shrimp. They're multiplying like crazy. Like I said, if you guys are local to my area and you want some shrimp, well, just hit me up in the comments or DM me on Instagram. I'd be happy to send you out some shrimp. I'm not the best at shipping, but we can even ship. We have the ability to. I've got oxygen, I've got bags, I've got boxes and stuff. If you live within a decent mileage of my humble abode here, like I said, I would be able to sell you some shrimp and even or some Ameca splendens. But like I said, these guys are a bit rare. They are a bit not like hard to keep or anything, but you know, if you want to keep the colony going, keep this species alive in the wild, you know, that's just something you can hit me up for. You know, I'm not really trying to make a business out of the fish room just yet. Got to upgrade my systems here. I want to build a air loop system going around the whole room so I can have every tank running off sponge filters. And we got this tank here. This is what I mean, it's really just a quarantine tank. There's no light on it. There's just plants and biomedia and stuff. I've got some cory cats. I've got a rainbow shark in here for I'm growing him out and quarantining him for a friend. That's something I like to do here because there's a real lack of quarantine that I see on a lot of people's, not like YouTube channels or anything, but just in a lot of people's personal hobby. They kind of, I don't know if they have a pride thing or if it's just like I don't have that many tanks. They just want to throw it in there and they're like, oh my God, my fish always die when I buy them from PetSmart or Petco or wherever. And it's like, well, no crap. So you even got a baby firemouth cichlid. Firemouth cichlid, when he grows out, we'll be putting him in the 200. Because with this guy here, I mean, look, we're just bouncing around the fish room. But with these guys here in the 200, you know, I've got my Oscars. Like I said, I kind of want to get more Oscars, maybe 1 or 2 more. But I want stuff that's not going to be too crazy. Like we got my Jack Dempsey cichlid here, you know, and I mean, in terms of aggression, he is aggressive, but he ain't like huge and super crazy. Same thing with the eel. The eel ain't really going to mess with nobody. He just hides within the rocks. Like I said, people don't believe me that I have an eel on this channel, I believe. But one day, I will get footage of him. He only really comes out when all the lights are off and scavenges whatever these guys leave over. And then we'll have Bartolomeo. Excuse the cloudiness on this tank, but then we'll have Bartolomeo going in there as well. And this tank's cloudy because I just added a little bit more sand, trying to increase my substrate depth. You're not going to plant any crazy plants in here, but just for the look of it, you know. Like I said, this tank's looking a little bit cloudy now because I just added and dumped a bunch of sand in there. You know, I don't give a damn. I just dump the sand right in there. As long as it's not play sand, I really don't care. As long as it's pre-rinsed, I'll just dump it in. But yeah, we got the African cichlid tank still going strong here. Still got no filter, baby. Still got no filter. The glare is still horrible, but we still got no filter on this, and the fish are doing absolutely wonderful, absolutely phenomenal. Trademark Joey Moen. But yeah, we got my plants, we got my fish. One of you guys, or a couple of you guys, commented saying you do want me to go a little bit more in depth in terms of my theories of filtration and all of that. And I mean, why am I in front of this goldfish tank when it's probably like my least well filtered tank I got? I mean, this hang on back ain't even running no more. I just got a canister going, and well, here's the thing. You see the algae growing on this tank? It looks disgusting, right? That's actually my filter. Because here's the thing. A lot of people call it laziness. I just call it, well, it's laziness, but it's also working smarter, not harder. Because here's the thing. If you just let the algae grow on the tank, it's going to eat the nitrates. It's going to eat the fish poop. It's going to make your life easier. The only reason we as hobbyists don't like algae is because sometimes, you know, it gets a little ugly. Make sure we want to see our fish. So, you know, you just wipe it off the front panel. But, you know, I do let this tank get to a point where it looks absolutely disgusting. These goldfish will be going in a pond. I just got to, you know, either rent an excavator or, like, spend 2 weeks with my hands in a shovel digging a big hole, or hire a bunch of Mexicans to dig it for me. All right, it's not racist. They love digging holes. I've had several Mexican people dig holes for me, and they say they love it. They say it's very rewarding work. I myself had hired my best friend once to dig a hole, and I paid him nothing but a sandwich. But that was a quite small hole, so I want to build a big pond. You know, that's going to happen eventually. But right now, we just got these giant goldfish in here. Like I said, these were my grandfather's goldfish from his little tiny pond back at my old Fishroom house. I don't know, there was a video on here somewhere where I got all the tanks in my grandma's basement. God bless, God bless. But like I said, these fish, they're inherited will. You know, I will make a nice pond for these fish. And I'm not even talking about filtration again. This is just the ramblings of Rayquatics. But in terms of filters, well, this is a prime example of how I treat filtration, right? Because this was a wet-dry sump. I mean, it still is a wet-dry sump. But I kind of, if you can see where this giant light, don't look at it too long. This giant light just kind of feeds all these plants, as well as there's like a whole mess of hair algae and disgustingness and all this gloop and glop growing on in here. But it's actually good. Because like I said, it's not growing in the turtle pond. That's moss down there. It's not growing in the turtle pond, it's growing in the filter. And as all that disgusting water from these disgusting creatures, right? These disgusting creatures.
Disgusting black creatures. Get out of my sight.
I love them, though. Love them. As all that dirty water flows into there, the algae as well as the plants, they kind of work together, guys. Algae and plants working together? What? But yeah, no, they do. And it just eats all of my nitrites, nitrates, all that stuff. I sure hope I don't have nitrites. Sure hope I don't have ammonia. But just the nitrates, baby. It's going to eat all that up and, you know, poops out clear water down here. And the thing is oh, you clean your filters? I mean, sometimes I do. But I've gone for years. Like, I mean, look, this is like prime example of paying too much money. I've got an FX4 on this 75 gallon. You don't need that. You could just use a sponge filter. But like I said, you know, since I have an FX4 on this 75 gallon, it's literally been a year since I've touched that thing. And I mean, look at the tank though. Stuff's still pretty clean. Same thing with the Oscar tank here. I definitely need to clean the canister on this. I've got an FX6 on here, plumbed into the overflow. Well, actually not plumbed into the overflow, plumbed into the outflow of the original 200 here. But like I said, I don't really care too much about cleaning the filters like religiously, because all that stuff just breaks down. The only bad part about not cleaning a mechanical filter like a sponge or whatever, and if you don't have any plants, is that all that solid waste will build up, and it will basically make your medium less efficient when you have all that solid waste and stuff building up inside your canisters, inside your hang-on bag. That's why just putting a simple plant really does wonders for it. Same thing with the turtle filter over there. The plants really help to mitigate the cleanings on the filters, because they'll suck up all that solid waste that the bacteria precipitate out of the water. And it's like, you know, the full cycle, baby. I ain't having some half-assed nitrogen cycle. I want a full-blown nitrogen cycle ecosystem where I don't gotta touch none of it, baby. Same thing with this goldfish pond. Like, this is crazy. Like I said, I haven't done a water change on this. Only topped off. And these are goldfish we're talking about. And an overstocked goldfish pond, to say the least, too. Like, look at the size of these guys. Look at the size of these guys. There's also a reticulated Siamese algae eater in there, as well as dojo loach, the best fish in the game. We got Dom's IDs, both of them, both Dom's IDs in there. But yeah, like I said, it really just works out. The plants are the key. Following nature is the key. Not spending money excessively. Like I said, I let this filter die out. And the plants just kind of took over, and they took over the job of oxygenating and filtering the water. So I just kind of let it do its thing. Like, in my personal opinion, nature is the ultimate teacher in terms of how we keep aquariums. And if you're going to stray, the further you stray away from a natural style tank, the more work you're going to have to do. So, in short, you follow nature, nature makes your life easier. You go away from nature, it makes your life harder in terms of keeping an aquarium. Now look, with the Oscars, right? No plants, no whatever, but you still got massive plant filter. And in terms of the aerial advantage, as my boy Dusty from Dustin's Fish Tanks would call it, when you get the above water growth, they do 10 times better of a job than eating the nitrates than a plant that grows underwater, simply because of that good old CO2. Because here's the thing, in nature don't got CO2 bubblers going down into your tanks, you know, and down into the lakes. Nature don't got that crap. Nature's got CO2 readily available in the atmosphere. That's why most of the aquatic plants that you see, they don't really even like growing underwater. We like growing them underwater for the, you know, the pure aesthetic of it. Like, look at these tanks. Look at my mess, guys, right? Classic fish keeper mess, you know, you got over here. But like we only really grow plants under the water for mostly of the aesthetic of it rather than the actual filtration aspect of it. The floating plants like hornwort, and even when you grow Alodia, like an Acarus Alodia, floating like that, they really, and even look at the roots on this Salvinia minima, they act as a better filter than any plant that's gonna need substrate or CO2 or anything like that. So like, as much as we in the hobby admire and really, really covet these aquascaped tanks here, I feel that there's more of an appeal to a nature tank, because you gotta just do less. You don't gotta go in there and trim everything every single day. You don't gotta do massive water changes to keep up with your fish load. Like this tank, I mean, conventionally, I think it's probably overstocked, especially just because I got the new ghost catfish. These guys are actually insane fish, man. You can see exactly what they're eating. They've got the whole nervous system and heart ready to expose. You can see the whole thing. They're a schooling fish as well, which is really, really cool. And I don't know, I'm just in love with these guys, man. The ghost catfish. Like I said, they're more of an oddball aquarium fish. But I got them here with the glowfish. As much as I don't really like glowfish. Like I said, they were just some guy gave them to me. And I ain't killing fish. I ain't giving fish to other people. If a man says take care of my fish, I'm taking care of his fish. Even if they're fish that, you know, I don't really care for. But the ghost catfish, man, those are some nice new fish here. But back on track with what I was saying, keeping a jungle ecosystem aquarium, in my personal opinion, is the way to do it. The second way to do it is low tech. Like, what's the best filter, right? Like, oh, dude, I spent $600 on my FX6 and my FX4 to filter my 275-gallon aquarium, right? I mean, to be honest with you, people buy these filters for the brand and for the flex. Like, look, I have nothing against it. Great filter. Love it, love it. But I'm poor, and I had to wait till Black Friday and use an employee discount to get a filter for a decent price. And it's still over $200. When you could just run a sponge filter and have the same exact results. Because even, look, even the hang-on back filters, because the thing is, the more you rely on mechanical things that we build to make our waters clear and do that, to be honest with you, I was having a breaker issue on my upstairs angelfish aquarium. It was running a Fluval Aqua Clear, and about every 20 minutes when the power would flick on and flick off, the filter would drain, and it wouldn't reprime itself. So if I wasn't staying on top of that, I would have killed all my fish. But if I had a sponge filter, it would have just kicked back on, the bubbles would have been still going, and heck, even if the power was out, there would still be surface area within the aquarium to grow beneficial bacteria. So, long story short, you don't need to spend a lot of money. I mean, because look, this plant was $70, but you don't need this plant. I just bought this because I'm a sucker for plants that look like Squidward's nose. But, you just need pothos. Like, look, this golden pothos I got out of a dumpster because some idiot didn't realize that you can propagate the trimmings. Or they just had too much pothos because pothos is pothos. Let's be real here. It'll grow in anything. But, yeah, guys, like I said, spending money? Nah. This pond has been in my family for like 10 years now. And this is like the 20th iteration of me keeping fish in it. It's like, if I don't have to spend money, I will not. That's kind of the main thing with these. More of like a rant style video. I mean, look, a rant. I'm not upset about anything. I'm just trying to teach you guys some stuff in my normal Rayquatic style here. But, you know, maybe sometimes I'll try to do crazy things with editing and storylines and all of that, but the real heart, the real meat and potatoes of this channel is just showing you guys how far I've come. To be honest with you, before I started gaining subscribers at like an unprecedented rate, I just made this channel to document my own progress over time. And I'm proud with my own progress. All of you guys should be proud with your own progress too. If you look back 4 years ago and you're completely different in the way you do things or the way you present yourself to the world, that's positive change. We're all about trying to implement positive change within our own lives. You know what I'm saying? And if I can take some of the positive changes that I've implemented in my own hobby and life and thrust them upon you, and not like forcefully, you know, just like suggestions here on how you could do better and how you can keep fish with less work and more closeness to nature, to our mother nature here, I consider that a job well done. But either way, guys, subscribe, like the video, do all that fun stuff, because I guess people like what I'm putting out here. And I haven't done this in a couple videos, but this is a ball of good energy. My boy Will Survives taught me this trick, and to be honest with you, I got that energy inside of me from him giving it to me, and I'm going to thrust it back upon you. Rayquatics out. Energy ball, woman!
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.